Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever
like this.
Ain't no harm by the things we do or the trouble that we get into.
Oh, clear.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Brent just gave himself
Just a
I don't know,
shot, you know.
Ooh, hair's flat today. What the heck is going on here?
You worried about your hair now?
You know, it's not just radio. We're playing TV too. Good morning,
There you
everybody.
are.
Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show.
You're short,
Yes,
on
Brent.
TV.
Yeah, I am. The Wade and Carter Worldwide Headquarters. The plans.
Yeah, this is behind us.
This is-
Very
this is-
nice. It's nice. And the more I get to look at the details, the custom USA concrete coatings driveway, the compadres design beverage cooler. Here Ash and I are on the
Can't really see.
veranda with the on-air sign, financed by First State Bank of Louise, food by Paravita, the offices at 205 way upstairs. Very nice. Chestic Furniture furnished it. White Trash Services does the, I assume we're out in the country.
Well, we're on the water somewhere.
Alan's
Lake
Record
McQueenie.
Service.
Must be Lake McQueenie.
Yeah, we're at McQueenie. We'll get to that later, but just fantastic. We're looking to start construction. We'd like to break ground in 25. We're very optimistic about 2025, and we'd like to hear your thoughts. Today's a great day. We have plenty to talk about, but if 894-4020 tickles your fingers, feel free to give us a call. Love to hear your thoughts about going into 25. We'll take tomorrow off. We'll probably be here on Thursday. It's a game time decision.
It is.
But would love to have your thoughts, even here on the comments.
Yeah, if
Are
you're on
you-
Facebook or YouTube, just comment. And let us
Are
know.
you
Give us a
confident?
topic.
Are things going to be better? Are the Democrats going to take a step back, lick their wounds, learn from their defeat?
Are the horns going to win?
Oh, yeah, the horn's going to win. Are they going to allow Trump to govern? Or are they going to right from day one come up? Is there going to be a new revelation of somebody's granddaughter who claims Trump did something in 1994? Are we going to be mired in court again?
And that state will amend their laws just to go after Trump.
Yeah. Is that going to happen? Hard to see. Get through the day, right? 55 degrees in Victoria feels like 46. No, it doesn't. It feels like, 55. 55 degrees feels like 46. Heading to a high today of 71. It's supposed to be a little blustery.
A little
It's
cooler
winter.
than yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow it's into the 40s. 48 in the morning, high of 64.
Whew.
You do the cabbage and
winter.
black-eyed peas and all that.
Haven't for years. No,
Outgrew that.
more or less.
Just go straight to the booze early.
Just got, yeah, well, I don't know, just got lazy.
Be thankful you're a Texan. Imagine if you woke up in the morning, and no humor here, if you woke up in the morning and all you could think about is, well, I don't have to go to work. I'm just going to get drunk. I mean, how
Oh,
sad.
so I'm Irish.
How sad.
Just kidding.
And no, you don't have to apologize. Nobody cares about the Irish or the Asians. You can say anything you want about Asians and nobody cares. It's sad. It's hypocritical. Commander Cody shakes his head in amusement, but also in concern because you can't.
Well, except you can't kick him out of Harvard. or keep them out of Harvard.
There
Then-
you go.
then
You
they get a
can't
lawsuit.
dress in blackface. You can't, which by the way, did not offend me. Did you know I had somebody legitimately offended on the behalf of terrorists everywhere? No kidding. That a guy went to a Halloween party a couple of years ago. I went back and looked through some of the archive stuff, and I was somewhat taken to task by somebody for saying that I thought it was hilarious that a guy went to a party wrapped in flares, you know, like roadside flares, and he went dressed as a terrorist and was acting like, you know, that was his get up, if you will. Could I offend terrorists by thinking that was funny?
Yes.
Is that, it's odd, but sometimes those stark things are what's funny. You have to kind of laugh at the things that give you fear, right? I mean, am I wrong?
Otherwise, you're beholden to them, right?
Right. The terrorists win if you're scared of an idea.
I think making fun of them just, come after you, then
That's right. Which, by the way, I welcome.
well, I don't mean you in general, but I mean, if they're coming after you because you made fun of them or whoever made fun of
Right.
them, then at least they're not coming after a bigger
Let's
target.
all agree to only be offended in 25 by the things that offend
actually
us.
offend you personally.
Yeah, as opposed to, well, I can't believe you said that about Canadians. And Ash goes, I think it's hilarious. And I go, no. That's not right. You're too dumb to see that they're really putting down your country. Right? Isn't that what happens
That's exactly what happens.
all too often? No, I'm offended on their behalf, and they're too dumb to realize.
They should be offended.
And nobody really wants to ever say it, but that's what's happened to black people for 100 years. No, you get a bunch of rich white people in a room and they harumph, and they point out that you can't do that. That's holding black people down. No, you can't do that because then you're taking away from other black people. And the black people are going, hey, man, I'm just going to work. I'm trying to get a job here.
Yeah. Congress has made a generation of
Dependence.
living off of that
Right.
mindset.
Well, which leads us into, and welcome Daniel Wade White with the gold, Rena Shear with the silver, and Kendra Douglas with the bronze. It leads us into, do we, from being offended, thinking on other people's behalves, and creating a dependent state, how do we feel about President Trump backing Speaker Johnson? Do we not want that distinct line? Now I could say, well, I'm a Republican, and if Trump backs the speaker and that helps him streamline things and get things done, bully for him. But I don't feel that way. I think there should be a distinct line between the executive branch and the legislative branch.
Well, he's third in secession, right?
I'm not saying that Trump shouldn't find a way to work with the speaker. I'm saying that Trump exerting influence on who the speaker is may not be in the best interest of the country any more than it was for the Democrats to decide, poor old Ash and Brent, they don't need to know that our president's got dementia. Let's just kind of keep him under wraps and we'll keep the power.
Different. That's not even the same argument.
Well, that's true. Trump's not committing treason where the Democrats did.
But here's the way I look at Johnson, and my views changed a little bit, and this is the beauty of having the ability to go back and admit maybe where I was wrong.
You might have been mistaken, but you were not wrong, sir.
No, and I don't even know, but and maybe I've been harsh on Johnson because it was finally pointed out to me that you're working with a very narrow majority, and I think right now, currently, like one vote shifts the majority in the House because of resignations and everything else. And until the new House is sworn in, I think it's like 217 to 215. So will you get one vote that goes the other way? It's tied, right?
Yeah, that's
And
not
then,
ideal.
No. And then you've got a Senate that is controlled by the Democrats. Now, I still think the Republicans should have shut down the government. They controlled the House. They had the ability to actually send a message. They didn't. But if you want to keep things moving, and I don't necessarily agree, but I understand the logic, and maybe that's where I've kind of changed my point a little bit on this. Johnson had to do what he had to do to keep things moving, knowing the slim majority in the House and the fact that the Senate wasn't going to pass anything that was purely Republican led.
Is that going to change in January? Because we'll have the House and the Senate.
Should, but we'll see. That's basically what I'm saying.
Peter McNally says he's a good speaker. In days past, I might say remove that guy. But now I think Peter McNally's fairly logical. Do we,
I don't know what
I have
that
no
is.
idea.
No.
Good morning, John Anderson over in the Carolinas. We're big on the East Coast.
Jarrett McCrugan checking in, huge in Canada, junior samples. But I just let's see what happens after January 20th regarding Johnson.
Are you expecting, are any of you, I'm talking not rhetorically, but to all of you, are you expecting some type of uprising, or will the Democrats take like the snooty high road and say, see, we just, even though the man's a despot, we just gave the peaceful transition of power? Are you expecting some leftist activities in D.C. around inauguration time? The great intellectuals who say it simply must be done. Right?
No, I don't think they'll get off their duffs and leave Portland and Seattle, but I could see Portland and Seattle.
Now, Junior just said battles. Does he think there's going to be battles places?
No, he was saying pick your battles regarding
pick your battles. Okay,
the speaker.
fair.
And Ricky King has a good point. The Republicans will take over the House and the Senate in the new year, and they were still
I agree,
getting
Ricky.
nothing done like always.
And why is that? Why is it, folks, when all you have to do is submit legislation, pass it in the House, rubber stamp it in the Senate, and you've got a president that wants to sign it? And I want you to look at how much real meat and potatoes legislation gets done in spite of, I think, the best efforts of people like our Congressman, Michael Cloud. There should be a queue of legislation sitting, waiting to be submitted, voted upon, and approved by the president. Should be ready to go. It should be. I mean, I know that at the state level, I've been keeping up with what's going on just here in House District 30. And Sheriff Louderback is like, man, you're not going to believe it. The stuff that's coming out, it's time to roll. They're getting ready.
Different process.
No doubt. But you would think that Congress would be saying, wait a minute, I've got a favorable House. If I can get this through the House on a line-by-line item, right? See, I used to like a line item veto.
They can't, but president doesn't have that ability.
I know. I used to like
Governor
that.
does.
Just go, no, I'm going to take that out. Now I'll sign
Although, in a way, the president does, because he could, I believe, could basically use some spending or use spending in that same sort of weapon. Well, you know what? I know this bill called for this much money to go here, but I don't like the way this country's doing what they're doing, so we're just not going to send them the money.
Now look at B.J. Nelson, always a bastion of positivity. Hard to see sponsors on that bougie house behind you. Right here. Right here is White Trash Services, top of the heap.
I guess we'll just go back to our old.
We can't have any fun. This is why we can't have nice things. B.J. Nelson, one of the reasons we can't have nice things. BJ, give us a call, 894-4020. I'm going to pick your brain about, I'm going to see if I can push you to the precipice of
that's a big
of
word
getting pushed back from the school board. Like, BJ said something nice about 25.
That's what's normally behind this.
Yeah, there you go. There, enjoy that. There, nobody has any fun anymore. Can you see that? Yeah, you can't see white trash on there either.
It's there in white.
She likes bougie though. I am so unbougie that, although this is designer camo, but I'm so unbougie that I can't even recognize the word bougie. You know.
Fair enough.
894-4020, BJ. We want to talk to you about the school board if you get a chance. She may be at Lake McQueenie. It's New Year's
It
Eve,
is.
by the
She
way.
might be there.
There you go.
There we go.
You ready?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
I don't
beyond
think
ready.
it's- I don't
Use the Bluetooth.
Is it?
Yeah, there you go. Good morning, Ms. Nelson. How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, there's
Uh-oh.
nothing there. You got to connect to the Bluetooth.
I thought I was on. Hang on, BJ. Don't go anywhere.
Go to your settings.
Really? You're helping me go
Yeah.
to settings? Look, it says connected right there.
Right again.
Are you there? Hello? That is so odd. Let's see. Hang on. Are you there?
Hello?
There you are.
Yeah,
Do not
Hey.
do not
adjust your
sound
set.
bored with it. Hello. Do not sound bored with us. That sounded like one of those late night, one of those. I had an extra glass of wine. Hello. What are you doing? You want to watch cable? Anyway.
You know, I decided I was not wired for binge watching. Scott and I binge watched all day Saturday, went to church, came back and finished watching The Firm. I'm not wired for binge watching.
You mean the movie
not
The
doing it.
Firm?
No, that there's a series, and it was on regular TV, and then it was on Prime or something. 23 episodes, and I can't get that time back.
No, I
No,
understand.
yeah.
It is. Oh, look at that. She just hung up on us. I'm calling her back because I do want to ask her.
Goodness, you've reached BJ Nelson.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she's probably trying to call us back.
Are you there?
At the tone.
Unbelievable. You know,
Technology's great when it works.
Are you there?
Press 1 for more options.
Yeah. Maybe it's just not meant to be.
Hang up the phone.
Are you there?
Hello?
No, she.
All right, she'll call back.
I hope
you
so.
guys probably crossed each other's.
I think she says you hung up on me.
Call
See, that
just
is
dropped.
a typical female where I'm no hands are touching the phone. The line drops, but the man did it. It's our fault.
Oh, we're getting spammed this morning on Facebook with all this watch a funeral service stuff. Oh, that's loud. Sorry, folks.
Are you there, ma'am? Are you there? I'm about to give up, BJ.
Something ain't working.
There she is. She's got to be there this time.
I'm here.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I think that it could. It's just technology. Are you in Victoria County at this time?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to the lake?
I don't know. What's everybody doing for New Year's Eve? But
That's
as
what
my
we're trying
aunt
to-
used to call it.
We were thinking about
Yeah.
going to your house.
Oh,
Just trying to say, if you're not there, we're there.
Pasture party. My dad's got a keg. Anyway.
there's no water. There's no water in the lake. You know,
Right.
it's kind of depressing. So.
No, I wanted to ask you, I'm sure by now you've had multiple opportunities to interact with our new school board superintendent, who I intend to reach out to right after the first of the year and have on the program. I just think it's, in all honesty, we didn't want to. I believe if we called, she would come, and I don't think she has time to be here right now. That's the truth.
We haven't called either.
Yeah, and we haven't called. So, what's your gut take? Besides obviously a very forward thinking, I've been told wonderful things from folks that she's going to be great, and we're looking forward to that. But I mean, do you have any insights? I mean, like if you asked me about Q, I would say, not standoffish, but not necessarily super personable, but a nice guy.
Kind of her personality trait. No, very accessible. I think she hit the ground running, because she had that 21-day waiting period. Once
Yes,
she was
ma'am.
told she has the job, and I asked her the other day, I said, "You worked during that time?" She said, "Yeah, I did." Before she was actually officially given the job at the dais and everything.
Right.
But she's, women. I think God wired us to multitask. I really do.
I agree. Survive and
and,
raise kids. I mean, for real.
you have to be able to mop, hold a baby, and make eggs at the same time.
I think you're being
And
very stereotypical at that point. I think that Ash and I mop and make eggs as good as anybody. But I'm with you 100%.
I just don't hold the baby while doing it.
Right?
Okay, well, we can bring you one. You can practice.
No, that's good. I'm good. Thanks.
You're good. She's already moved here, and that was one of our requirements, was that the new super had to be in the district, and she did that right away. Bought a home.
Good for her.
She said she already feels like she's at home. One of the cool things the district did was a little informational video, and I'd encourage everyone to go look at that. I've watched it 2 or 3 times. I've shared it on all my Facebook pages, and it just kind of gave a little introduction. And what it told me was she puts our students first. She introduces them. It was very friendly. She loves kids. You can just tell. She just has a heart for kids. And then they did a really cute another video. Actually, Alvarez is amazing. She comes up with great ideas. She's always the one that does the recap. Yeah, if you don't want to watch the 3-hour school board meeting, she actually does a little recap, which is really cool on the website.
See, that's what I would watch if I were on the school board. That's what I would do. I'll just catch the recap. You'd find me dozing off over there with my ADHD. I'd be like dozing.
The question on everybody's mind.
Right.
When's the next bond election?
Yeah, when is the next bond election? Are we running out of bond?
I don't know. Do you want one?
No. Well, I mean, it's. I feel like.
May is a good time, right? That's the next election, isn't it?
I feel like
I don't know.
Well,
France in war.
We have 3 spots coming up for potential people running for office.
So who would that be? Mike Mercer's seat, because he's not. It's going to be an open seat. Who else's seats are available?
Mrs. Pruitt, Margaret Pruitt.
Okay.
And then Miss Kathy Bell.
Okay.
So
3. That's up from 2. I think the last I knew of Margaret Pruitt and Mark Mercer stepping down. I didn't know Ms. Bell was stepping down as well.
No. I didn't say they're stepping down. I said they're
it's re-election.
Oh, their re-election. Okay,
yeah.
sorry,
No,
I misunderstood.
And there's 7 people on the school board?
Correct.
Man, that's a major shift. That's a lot of people.
Well, every year at least 2 people are up for re-election.
Okay.
So, like Rick Jones and I, we have another year and a half or whatever. So then we would be up for re-election again. But
I think y'all are doing a great job.
We
do. We think y'all are doing a great job.
Oh, well, you're very kind.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get a raise.
You work very hard. Yeah, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Appreciate your service.
Hey,
with many,
Primo parking. We have reserved parking, so we come in hot, from work.
Well, 1099 you for that.
Right.
Well,
but no, back to Miss Closet. I'm going to answer your question. Very kid oriented, very very student oriented. What I loved was the district she came from. They improved immensely, so she has a great track record. What she needs right now is support from our community.
We'll work on that.
Instead of saying, it's always happened in our community, to say, hey, new sheriff in town, what can I do to help? And what I would love to see is an onslaught of, we have a lot of retired people here, which is great. A lot of people move back here to be near their kids, or they're retired plant workers, or just, maybe they made $1 bazillion that came here to live because they want to be close to the Gulf. I would love to see people, go to the VIC website and volunteer. And feel like they really become part of the community. And I'm telling you, volunteer at a school, you're going to get more out of it than the kids do, because you're going to be really giving back to something that has a lifelong repercussions, good repercussions. And I would just love to see. We have so many volunteers, we don't even know what to do with all of them. That's what I would love to see. And if anybody's listening or re-listens to this, because I re-listen to your shows sometimes. I try to go to sleep or whatever.
I was going to say, if you're re-listening to our shows, no wonder you're a perfect fit for the exciting world of school management. I mean, if you're re-listening to our show, then that's like
one you've already watched.
That's a lot like
I've already watched,
being
exactly.
on the school board. Yeah. Junior says there were
it-
text sounds.
Binge watching the Wade and Carter show. That's
Right.
the only show you need to be able to
There you
binge
go.
watch.
Mr.
really
Nelson
binge
says
watching.
no.
Well, do you think the discipline issues in the classroom have hurt volunteers or the lack thereof?
Well, once again, I'm saying there's a new sheriff in town, and everything starts at the top. And so, if discipline is an issue, I really feel like it's going to be addressed.
Good. And it's something we're going to address with her when we get her on the air, which it'll
Oh,
happen right after the first of
fabulous.
the year.
Reach out to her. But that's my thing is I want to really see more volunteers. We've got the time. A lot of people have the time, and then I always subscribe to the 80-20 rule, and I know you guys do too. And I've had to educate people a lot lately on the 80-20. Like, what does that mean? 80% or 20% of people do 80% of the work.
Amen.
And that's okay. But I'd like to see some of those 80%. Because sometimes they're looking for something to do. They don't know. And go to your local church, go to your school. I'm telling you, that's what's going to make your life rich is helping others.
Well, we wish
So-
you and Mr. Nelson a blessed new year, and I know
You
we'll see
too.
you. So God bless, and
All
thanks
right,
for all
take
your
care.
service.
Thank you,
yes,
PJ.
ma'am. Thank you.
BJ
Bye-bye.
Nelson,
BJ
school board
Nelson.
trustee, and we welcome and appreciate her willingness to.
What were you smirking about? Because you
Well,
had that
80-20,
look
I
and said you
did.
thought you had something. You were
Well,
trying to figure out among the three of
no,
us
no,
who did
no.
all the work.
I know who does all the work. She's sitting in the corner.
Commander Cody. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
That 80-20 rule, that's better than the 10% that paid 90% of the taxes in this country.
True story. It is funny how people get excited about, I want to, Elon Musk only pays 2% income tax, and I pay 30. And I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, you pay, 50 grand a year in taxes, and Elon's 2% adds up to 800 million.
Yeah.
So we pay our bills with dollars. You can talk to me about percentages all day long, but when it comes time to write the check, you don't get to write a check. I want to write a check for 18%. You have to write a check for $10,000.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting. What were the numbers? Because we had them down. The top 1% of wage earners in this country pay 48% of the taxes.
Something like that.
And only 50% of the people pay
Pay all the
taxes,
federal taxes.
pay all the federal taxes. So
That's-
what
the
we
numbers
need
are
to
crazy.
do is find a way. You just can't imagine if we just recaptured a percentage of the money that people take from our country and wire to other countries. If there was a way to capture some of that on the way out the door.
Well, you know what? People earn that money, whatever they want to do with it.
I don't disagree, but
Here's the thing: let's stop spending. Let's stop and cut government spending. You want to make it? That's where you'll make the difference. Taxing.
so
more
how do you do
people-
that? You're going to have to get rid of some entitlements.
Probably you're gonna have to get rid of departments.
Oh, I think we're going to
We
do
have
that.
430 agencies in this country. When this country was founded, there were 5. 5.
And what would those have been? Like the Department of Defense,
Probably.
the Department of Agriculture,
Probably trade and tariffs.
Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Education. Yeah. St. Junior Sample says Oklahoma taxes that money leaving to Mexico.
Well, because that's all cartel money leaving from Oklahoma for the drugs that they sell.
and,
That's
and what
that is.
is Trump going to step up and take that money from the cartels? Is he going to actually put a bind on them? Nobody really wants to talk about the big issue in the room, and it sounds too simplistic, but it's 100% correct. If Americans did not demand illicit drugs, there would not be a drug problem in this country. If we didn't have what I typically see as somewhat educated, certainly employable, but literally stupid white trash people walking around on meth, there wouldn't be a meth problem. I mean, that, if it wasn't for potheads, there wouldn't be a pot problem. If we didn't create so many drug heads, in so many ways, Europe to me is way behind us. And in so many ways, they're way ahead of us. I don't believe they have the huge addiction issues in the industrialized, the civilized part of Europe that we have here. Am I wrong?
I don't know enough about their data, but I would think you're probably pretty wrong. Because I just saw
You think? Okay.
I saw a story the other day of how drugs are coming from. Here's the circuitous route of drugs. Fentanyl starts in China. Instead of just shipping it from China through, through Asia and into Europe, it comes to Mexico, then finds its way over to Europe, mostly through the United States.
There you go.
So, I mean, not only do we use it, we have the distribution channels that are established to get it there.
And I'm not even talking about mental health issues. Good morning, Mom. I'm not talking about mental health issues, but how do you, at what point do you have to be in your life? It's one thing if I tell you, hey, take this MDMA, this ecstasy tablet, and it's going to make you more fun at parties. You're going to love dancing, and the colors are going to seem brighter, and you can stay up for hours and hours and hours. And, oh, by the way, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that you might have a bad trip, and you may get kind of stuck in that mode for a while. That's one thing. It's another thing to go, hey, here's this blue pill. Take it, and, it's 50-50. You're going to be a vegetable from now on or die. Why would anybody? Where would you
have an erection that lasts more than 4 hours?
That's not so bad. Where would you want to be? Where would you have to be in life to take fentanyl? I mean, it's not like are you chasing a high when you take fentanyl, or are you saying, man, I'm in so much pain and I can't get the meds I need? Or is it that you're just a drug addict and you don't care? See, because I'm sorry. I have very little sympathy for the drug addicts. I don't. I'm like, get up in the morning and make the right choices. And if you're addicted, go get help. There's help, man.
Yeah.
There's help.
And I think part of it is, I mean, obviously they've found drug companies liable for the prescription painkiller addictions, right? They've sued the maker of OxyContin, and they're out of business.
Yeah.
Good luck getting that money on that settlement. They went bankrupt, but whatever.
Well, Kelly Fromme points out, and 100%.
But I think part of it is we've become soft as a population. Oh, you're going to feel a little pain. They used to just tell you to suck it up and deal with a little bit of pain, right?
Right.
Or give you, take 2 Tylenol. Now it's, well, here you go. Here's an OxyContin. You might have a little pain. I always tell the doc, don't bother filling it.
Describe your pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Choose the smiley face that shows me how it hurts like that. I wouldn't be at the ER if it didn't hurt like that. So much in our country could be improved in the home and upbringing of our families, not just the drug problem. I agree. I mean, it all comes back to the family. It sounds almost biblical, doesn't it? It all comes back to the family. By the way,
Junior says 3 weeks in Europe, he smelled pot one time, no homeless, and not one shooting gallery. I don't know what that means, but very clean streets and public bathrooms.
I want to give you guys hope about something, just because many of you have probably considered what I'm about to tell you, because I'm just gonna tell you. Dawn had been having some discomfort, and Dr. McNeil said, well, bring her by the ER, and we'll get her in to get her a CAT scan. We could do it on the weekend. So instead of having to make an appointment and go through the doctors and yada, 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 we took her to the ER, and she went in and had this little CAT scan done. Got the bill the other day. We were there like 2.5 hours. Okay, they ran her through the tube. $15,000 something was the bill for this. And I laughed because, I mean, that's what else are you going to do? So $15,000, it said credits to you, 8,000 and something. Just credit it off. Like, hey, it's like, it sounds like buying furniture in a big city. It's a $25,000 sofa, 12, half off today. And 8,000 and something credit. And then the insurance company, in their wisdom, somehow paid $5,200 and something for this 5 minutes in the magnetic tube, and sent me a bill for $2,200, which I'm not paying. Not paying it. Come back and take her MRI. Come back and take her CAT scan. If you think I'm sending you $2,200 for some mythical $15,000 bill that you made up, when I know for a fact that if I walked in the street buck naked and homeless, they would treat me, give me a meal and a blanket, and send me back out? I'm not paying it.
And they'd run you through the MRI and it wouldn't cost you a dime.
That's right. There ain't no chance I'm sending $2,200 to, and it's not Citizens Hospital. It's just this medical behemoth that I'm not doing it.
Adam Sugar says meth is Schedule 2, marijuana Schedule 1 for years. If they had a hard time straightening that out, how could they ever help fix a problem when they can't see meth is worse than weed?
Yeah, no kidding.
It took Biden to fix that.
You know, the only reason weed gets a bad name is because, number one, the stuffed shirts that are swilling scotch haven't found a way to tax it properly. They thought they had it figured out in Colorado, and they do. And here's the difference.
But they don't.
But what they did is when they figured out that they know how to tax it right is they can't tax it enough because the state of Colorado loses money on their drug trade. No doubt about it. At the end of the day, people don't view booze as a gateway drug, and even I view weed as a gateway drug. For 90% of the people, you want to smoke a little dope and sit in your living room and eat nachos? I couldn't care less. Please don't operate heavy equipment. But at the same time, if you're the guy that feels like, hey, man, it's just a gummy, and the next thing you know, you're at the wrong party and one thing leads to another, I do believe that marijuana is more likely to lead you to drugs like cocaine, and then go from there, chasing a high, than booze. But it's an either or deal. I mean, neither ultimately are good for you. I know as a Canadian, that's blasphemous.
Yeah,
you can't.
No, I disagree on that. I think if you have an addictive nature, they're all gateway drugs.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
I don't know one.
You've been drinking 40 years. Yeah. You ain't hooked.
Not yet. I'm still working on it.
Looks like I picked a bad day to stop smoking.
I don't know. There's a few people that have gone through drug addiction that I know, and none of them didn't get to where they got without first taking a drink.
Is that right? Well, then you decide, well, there's a better, you'll hear that all the time. And that is true. Well, yeah, but don't you hate the way you feel the next day? Here, just take a couple of hits off this joint. You'll feel great in the morning. And then it's like, oh, yeah, you don't like that feeling in your lungs? Well, here, just eat a gummy. It's amazing. You'll feel great tomorrow. Your lungs won't hurt and you won't be hungover.
Well, look at all the rock stars that finally cleaned up, right? They all tell you.
Big-time radio personalities.
There's no way to get through the life that they were living.
Yeah, I have to take pills every morning. Blood pressure.
Without
Cialis for
being on whatever they were on to get them through the night and
erectile dysfunction.
2 hours sleep. We need to take a break. It's turned into a depressing show for New Year's Eve.
Sounds like.
I thought 2025 was already going to be about hope and change.
Sounds like
wait, that was 2008.
Sounds like me on my honeymoon. We got to take a break. Went services, folks. Went generators. Went for all your electrical needs. Went. Don't let it be gone. Get in here. It's not working. I tried it. Went services. Generac, preferred Generac generator dealer. Get in and get a hold of them, the VCS companies, for all your communication needs, whether it be the new iPhone 16 or an iPad or Samsung unit or you name it.
Android, whatever. Google,
reach out.
Chromebook, they got them all.
Reach out to the VCS companies also for if now is the time to have security system installed in your home. The VCS companies are your home for that. RK Development Group, Daniel and his team, Marine veteran led, 35 years of experience, metal building expertise, concrete, bricks and sticks. Your next project, call RK Development Group. Brand us. That's what they do. They brand us.
Except for the next couple of days because he's bailing on us.
Yeah, Cody, he's going hunting.
That's all right.
We're going to let him do it.
I get a package of dried meat sticks. I'm getting.
Sure.
He's crossing his fingers that he actually kills something.
Absolutely, because we are carnivores.
That's
Adds an offer since 1926. Victoria's dealership. Chevy, Mitsubishi. We ever confirm Mazda's
Pre-owned? I
gone?
haven't heard that. I don't think we've confirmed it yet.
In an unconfirmed report, Atzenhofer not hosting Mazda on their website. They did not reach out to us with the press
I drove by and
release.
didn't see any new ones on the lot, so maybe there's that.
There you go. They still service all makes and models.
Yeah,
they always
they
service
will.
what they sell. First State Bank of Louise, we'll get to that update in a moment.
Well, the brother man's going to stop by. He wanted to talk
Fantastic.
college ball, so we'll save the First State Bank update for our.
Sponsoring Brother Gary Moses. White Trash Services, we already talked to BJ. White Trash for all your...
Just McQueenie now, since there's no water in the lake. It's
Right.
not Lake McQueenie. It's just
What you do
McQueenie.
is you just go out back and throw your stuff into the lake.
Pee in it.
It'll float later.
Everybody peed in it. You'd fill it up in a herb.
Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love make your house a home.
You just
Realize
do
you
better
just
at
always
present.
do better.
Yep,
Yeah,
always.
it's on the door. When you walk up, it says you just always do
Always
better.
do
at Chesnick.
better.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Get by, play, enjoy the holidays. If you ever find yourself getting down, just go out to Palace Bingo and have some fun.
Go play bingo.
Very inexpensive, very, very fun.
Kathleen Leininger says, when did we forget to live life versus medicating us away from living and experiencing
Amen, ma'am.
life?
100%. Kathleen, you're a very positive person, and we appreciate your input every day. There are a handful of people. I mean, if you start making a list, you get in trouble because people fall off the list that ought to be on it. But you think about the Judge Posey, the Rena Shear,
I mean, basically
Ricky
everybody that's
King,
champ,
yeah,
that's-
Junior, Sheriff Louderback,
everybody that's in this morning.
Scotty Tomko, Mr. McNally. What a great group of friends
Mark Cepeda, good morning.
that are consistently here. And Jarrett McCrugan for representing the Canadians.
Yep. J Dub, he's in Mexico, so he's not checking in. There's Buddy Stavanoa, good morning. Scott Tomko, Justin Spitolsky, David
Hey, since
Glass.
it's radio and I can
Yep.
do whatever I want, Jarrett McCrugan representing Canadians and all people of color. Where the white women at?
Theater of Mind. Theater of the Mind.
There you go.
Give us a topic. Anything you want us to talk about, chime in on,
Sex.
weigh an opinion on.
Go.
Sax?
Sex.
George Clinton.
Right? What's that other guy's name?
Herb Alpert. No, that was Trump.
No, that was a trumpet.
Yeah.
What was the Waylon.
Wayans. One of the Wayans, right?
No.
No?
Kirk Whalum.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Saxophone player.
White Trash, 550-1826.
There's Will Vincent. You know, bless his heart, Will Vincent sends me a note. Hey, sorry I missed the show
Yeah.
this morning. There is no roll call, William. You're fine, bud.
Yeah, Will, don't. Yeah.
Will the Thrill. Now, every time I walk by,
We don't get mad when you don't tune in every day.
he does have something derogatory to say about you every time I pass him, which is always fun. At HEB, at the top of his lungs. BJ Nelson says, okay, White Trash Services today, 550-1826. Sign up for your year, to start your year right. You don't need extra trash around. She says, sign up and start your year right. Who needs extra trash around? There you go.
Oh, let's see. Jimmy Carter stuff.
Brother Gary is in the lobby. It's his motorcade arrived. There was no, usually we have protesters out front of the program. Brother, did you make it through the protesters? No problem. Okay.
Jimmy Carter's official state funeral will be held on January 9th.
Okay.
January 9th will also be a national day of mourning.
Oh, come on.
I agree. I mean, are we not past this sort of thing as a country?
Nobody has had a conversation with Jimmy Carter in 15 years. I mean, come on. You know what this is? This
Ricky,
is-
I back you up there. I like White Trash too. They do a great job.
I like white trash too. This is a pure acquiescence to the formality of old. This is nothing more than homage to Europe. Nothing more than respect, because somebody in Washington said, well, good gosh, man, it's got to be done. I mean, look what they would do when the king died. When Charles passes, they're going to do this, this, and this. We've got to do something. We're every bit as important a country as they are. Do you agree?
No, I agree. I think
it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Jimmy Carter died. Well, you're going to drag his bones out of Plains, Georgia, up to D.C. You're not going to have an open casket. The man looked like a mummy.
Private interment in Plains, Georgia, so he'll be buried back home.
Why not just bury him? Give that honest to goodness. what, $5 million it's going to cost to do this?
Just for security alone.
Just give that to his presidential library. Maybe they can buy a piece of a fallen helicopter from his Tehran rescue effort and stick it in the back room. There's no reason to have Jimmy Carter lie in state.
Well, I don't think he is, but still.
So the other day, Caden goes, name 3 U.S. presidents that aren't buried in the United States. And I couldn't. I thought, well, George Washington, he's at Mount Vernon. I mean, that's in the United States. I kept thinking, is somebody buried in D.C.? Because Arlington is in Arlington, Virginia. And he goes, Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Barack Obama. Thanks. Yeah, I made him go pull weeds in the dark.
Good. He out dad joked you.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I all this H-1B visa stuff again, kind of coming up, and Trump now they're saying he's backing down. Peter McNally posted he's backing down on his deportation. The media is doing everything they can. Listen to the headlines when I just Googled Trump deportation. A massive immigration court's backlog could slow Trump's deportation plans.
The staggering cost needed for Trump's mass deportation plan.
Who are the immigrants that could be targeted in Trump's massive plan? California plan doesn't do enough to shield immigrants from Trump.
How Trump could crack down on blue cities and states to enact so he could target blue cities and states.
How to survive Trump's mass deportation plans. It's all
in
coordinated,
Spanish,
folks.
if you need it.
This is all within the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And you know what, though? The idea that all these major news outlets picked that up, it was distributed by
The Democrats.
That's exactly right. It's distributed by the Democrats. And there's nobody that controls the media better than the left. That's why somebody like Elon Musk can come out on Twitter/X, and it's so stark that there's a Republican or a right-leaning message. And that's why there's like when Fox leans right, that's why they get hammered by every other outlet. MSNBC can be totally off base and wrong about a subject for weeks at a time, and nobody says anything because the only people that comment on the media are other media, and they're all leftists.
How Trump plans to deport 4% of the U.S. population, according to the Wall Street Journal. Interesting how these numbers have slid.
It was like 30% just the other day.
There were 30 million illegals in this country,
yeah.
which is roughly 10% of this nation's population. Now it's down to 4%. They're trying to minimize the number of illegals that are actually here.
And they say things like the media says, "Well, oh, really? You're here, but you were born Canadian? You could be deported, and your kids and grandkids."
Yeah. No. But it's just, it's crazy. Under Barack Obama, there were 20 to 25 million illegals here. Now you're telling me that 10 of them just voluntarily left? Bull crap.
100%. Let's get the brother man on here. He has a full day.
Yep. Come on, brother man.
Brother man, while the brother man comes on, remind you at USA Concrete Coating, you saw their driveway work there at the new Wade & Carter World Headquarters. That'll be coming up. Veracruz delivers. It'll deliver to your headquarters. I highly recommend you want to have a party. Don't do it. Don't do the work. You call them. Lee Caballero will come to your home. He'll bring it to you in heated trays.
Yep.
You've had it in our house.
Give them their budget. Tell them how many people are coming.
That's right.
They'll work with you. Like if you want something for around $10 a person, they'll work with you.
Or less.
Or less.
They'll bring you beef, chicken fajitas, beans, rice, tortillas. And I don't know why. You can go pick up Veracruz to go anytime you want. I like to eat there. But when you eat it hot, fresh at your home, man, that's hard to beat. And the hot sauce is so great. Yeah. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen is your go-to tow-to.
Saw Allen on the road yesterday cleaning up an accident.
He's a great guy, a great company, and a great family business. A blue blood here in Victoria. Compadres Design, same thing. Get a hold of them. Chris Soule and his team can help you advertise your business. Caps, they've got all the Richardson snapbacks, all the cool gear. They've got it all. We talked about Paravita. We always talk about Deerland Food. Deerland Feed. And then here, the office is at 205. The brother man.
I saw the brother man at Parvita yesterday picking
He's
up
right
my
there.
meals. He was there.
You got him hot?
I will as soon as I get the crowd.
Oh, wait. Oh, the applause.
You were there yesterday.
It's in your
Parvita.
it's in your contract.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, I always like
Appreciate
it. I always, you know, I'm joking because there's nobody in our midst that's more benevolent, kind, caring, sweet, genuine than Brother Gary Moses. But
Big knucklehead.
there are people, and you've known them, that they come off as the nicest people on the planet,
Right.
But they expect you to introduce them a certain way
Right.
and make sure that people know. And I want green M&Ms in my office, and
Right.
you know. So when I joke that it's in the brother man's contract,
It's a joke.
it's a joke. But for some people, it's not a joke. I want to be introduced with fanfare. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, sir. I saw your boy over there at Parvita. We were there getting our meals.
Were you?
We need to. I need to.
You sure he
He's
wasn't
looking
just,
good?
He
I
wasn't
need-
just hanging around having a nice glass of Chianti.
No, he wasn't. He was asking all the right questions.
You were.
I sent my text in too, Ash. She asked us send a text in of what we feel about Parvita Wellness.
Little
I
testimony
sent
on
mine
that.
in. You
I got to do that. I haven't.
got to remind you right there.
Appreciate that.
Is that here? Grab that. I don't like you being bent over. Just
Okay.
push that up to where you're
you
comfortable.
Yeah, don't want to be.
Did you?
bitter.
Did you?
You're the man.
Did
Thank
you?
you.
Did you try that
I
Cuban
did.
chicken?
Yeah, I did. Excellent.
It's one of my favorite
Excellent.
meals over there.
Man, I tried one yesterday.
Can't you just see Brother Gary at home, the white button down, got the Parvita, and he's got like 9 cats up on his barking. He's just giving them each a little individual bite.
Black bean.
Black bean, here, eat the black bean.
Brother man, I picture the brother man when he sits down to eat. He gets that big bib you got
Bib?
from the lobster place
Yeah.
because there's no way
I've seen him.
He
Try
gets,
not to do that.
like you give him like a chenille throw for Christmas, and he cuts a hole so he can just put it over his head and use
a
it as
poncho?
big bib, like a poncho.
Yeah,
Then
sure.
he can eat when it gets dirty. You throw it in the washer.
Eating home's different than eating out. You know that.
Absolutely.
Big time. Hey, guys.
It would
good to
be
with
great
you.
to go to Brother Gary's house and just walk in. Hang on, brother. We're on a roll here. It's go to Brother Gary's house. He answers the door like in boxers and a wife beater, and he's got like a tub of Bluebell. Hey, come on in.
Looks like Homer Simpson.
Come on in. No glasses. His hair's messed up.
Those don't happen. That don't
Probably
happen.
not.
That'd never
Probably
happen.
happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
He sits at home in a button down just in case somebody
Well, late at
stops
night,
by.
you don't come in till late, so you don't have that happening right
True
there.
story.
Right?
Sleeps hanging upside down.
Love you guys. Real
We
quick
love
for
you.
New Year's Eve, you've got Pat Matula out there at Inez
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
with Joel Nava. He's going to be
Yeah,
singing some
Joel's
songs.
awesome.
Yeah, you've got Inez. It's a community center here in Victoria. The Drifters, Gary Prukop, Drifters of
You
Victoria.
know that's gonna be sold out too.
You know it. And I'm going to give you one for the Tejano side. Our boy, Eric Flores, is playing over there at the Z venue, which is next to Mr. Gaddy's. He will be featured over there at the Z venue.
You know
Eric
Eric Flores, El Chavalon.
El Chavalon.
Come off, my man.
And you ladies and guys who have kids and grandkids and great grandkids, 2 ball drops this morning and afternoon, 11:30, 12:30, Victoria Public Library for the kids and grandmas and grandpas. And I'll be doing the one at the Children's Square Museum from 11 to 1, 12 o'clock, balloon drop, 2,000 balloons. So I got that one. So big Dave. I'll be all over the
See, I'm
place.
the guy that would host a balloon drop and the wind would kick up and everybody in, Cuero would go, hey, what's this? That's what would happen.
Oh,
to
I just
us,
got free gaddies.
right?
And if you, Brent and Ash and y'all out there want to set fireworks up, you got Patriot Park tonight till 12 o'clock.
And
Because there's a burn ban in effect, so you can't even do
Only
it in the county
at,
right there, right?
is
Yeah,
there still a
Patriot
burn
Park.
ban?
Yeah, that's the only place we can do them. is
I
up
got
there.
like 9 inches of rain the other day,
Well, I got a lot too.
right?
My
Wasn't
yard
enough.
still don't
Wasn't
feel the
enough. All right.
My yard still doesn't feel the
Are you
effect.
going to put the brother man on the spot? Is that
Let's
what you're
do
doing?
it.
You
Brother
can't.
man wanted to be on the spot.
Our new segment, Stump the Brother.
Stump the brother.
All right, here we go.
Sugar Bowl is tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Notre Dame and Georgia.
No, it's on 1-1. It's I'm sorry. Tonight.
Or no,
is
it's Penn State and Boise State. Fiesta Bowl.
Penn State,
that's right.
Boise State. Yeah.
Penn State's going to throttle Boise.
I don't think so.
Boise State's tough. I like seeing when Penn State I'm taking, though. They're minus 12.
Yeah.
You're taking Boise?
I'm taking Boise.
Really?
We're taking Penn State.
The men of the blue field?
Ashton,
Well,
Ashton Genty, I don't think
he's really
Penn
good.
State can stop him.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I think Penn State, you got to. I went with favorites last time.
Isn't it funny how far we've come through the years? There was a time Earl Campbell, 77, Tony Dorsett, 76.
The
where
best.
If you had the big body,
Archie
big
Griffin.
time Archie Griffin, you had the big 75. You right through there.
2 years in a row, right?
Has there ever been a 3-year run when I go in college? When I go
Like that.
Archie Griffin, Tony Dorsett, Earl Campbell. Wow. But when you do that, you used to say, we're going to control the ball. We're going to 3 yards in
and
a
they
cloud
did.
of dust.
You couldn't stop them.
But nowadays, Janty could get 250 yards and score three TDs, and they can still
And they
lose
still lose.
42 to 40.
Exactly.
I don't know what you do with that.
Penn State, tight game. Wouldn't be surprised Boise State won.
But I'm going to take Penn State in that game.
That's where we're going.
They're
at.
12-point favorites.
12-point
I just think that's
You think
too much.
Boise covers for sure?
Boise.
Yeah.
I think Boise
Said- that's
wins.
what I said.
I'm gonna
Boise
say Boise
State-
wins this one
Close.
Okay, there you go.
All right, here we go.
And so Oregon plays Ohio State in the mid-afternoon.
at the Rose Bowl, which
At
is
the Rose
interesting
Bowl.
because this is a traditional Big Ten, Pac-12 matchup.
Now it's a Big Ten
Now it's a Big
matchup.
Ten matchup.
Big Ten.
Ohio
Because the
State, Oregon.
Pac-12,
Oregon won the
studs.
first game by 1 point.
Oregon wins this one.
You think Oregon wins this one? If the Ohio State, so when Ohio State played last week, I watched Ohio State beat who?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
If that Ohio State team shows up, Oregon gets beat. I had the feeling,
This Oregon team is not that Tennessee team though.
fair enough,
Yeah,
okay?
fair
But
enough.
as I watched Tennessee play, I felt like I felt when Michael Penix and Washington beat Texas last year. I was like,
Yeah.
if this Washington team shows up every week, nobody can beat them.
Coach's
And
job's on the line, too.
I
at
agree.
Ohio State.
I gotta figure Ohio State wins that game.
I'm going a repeat, not a repeat, but just the opposite. Ohio State will win this one. Oregon won the
Okay,
first one.
so me and the brother over here, Penn State, Ohio State, and you're the lone man
Yep.
with Oregon and Boise State.
Oregon
Now,
started first as a favorite, 2.5. Now it's Ohio State, 2.5 point favorite.
later that night, 7:45, you've got Notre Dame playing Georgia. What's your take on that?
I'm thinking Georgia because Notre Dame, I mean, even though they don't have Carson Beck, just Georgia it's a little bit
There's
more than
no
Notre Dame.
song called Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's Georgia. You got to wonder, brother,
Fort Bend,
something that
sweet Fort Bend.
what's his name? Kirby Smart said, these guys just find a way to win.
That's true.
And
And if-
Notre Dame, Ash, do you agree that Notre Dame, to a degree, has been kind of smoke and mirrors this year? When they beat the Aggies,
12-1. I don't know if smoke and mirrors, but
Well,
true.
I'm thinking Georgia.
I
Even though they put
and
the
they-
new quarterback
and
in.
they put it on Indiana. Indiana was smoke and mirrors. If you want,
that was
in my
smoke and
opinion.
mirrors.
That's
That
true,
was
but
smoke-
what do you think?
SMU, smoke and mirrors.
The key will be, yeah, no doubt. The Carson Beck looks exactly like what's the guy's name from Fargo?
See, they can
The
put
actor
Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi.
Brent and Ash, they can put this other quarterback in, and they have the system already there.
That's right.
And I think they'll be able to cover.
If everybody has said to me, well, Notre Dame's defense is so good, and they may be, but they're going to have to be.
They're going to have to be to beat Georgia.
I've got to go with Georgia.
How do you go wrong with a quarterback named Gunner?
That's
yeah.
right.
He's got an
Gunner
arm. It's in the
Stockton.
name.
Look at Ash pull that up.
Gunner Stockton.
Rena Shearer says the burn band's been lifted in victory.
Thank you,
There
Rena.
go.
See, there you go. She's when
but
you
the-
need her.
But the
Rena's
only place
there.
you can do it out in the, not in
Is
the
out
city
in the
limits,
county.
but at the county is Patriot Park.
Brother
right
Man
there.
forbids.
Rena knows.
Intercity or intra-city fireworks.
And then the game that everybody cares about.
Nobody cares about this game. It's a nothing game. The number 4 versus the number 5 seed.
Yep.
Arizona.
Let's just elevated the Peach Bowl into something the Peach Bowl never was.
That's
until the
exactly
college
right.
football
Peach Bowl,
playoff.
yeah. Atlanta, Georgia.
Absolutely. Texas
12 o'clock.
versus Arizona. High noon on Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll be watching.
The key to this one will be, can Texas stop Mr. Scatabo?
That's right.
What do you make of? And by the way, I think it's great. It's great for the game, for
think
this
so, too.
game. But what do you make of Scatterbo saying, there's nobody out there that can stop me? And the quarterback I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the quarterback from Arizona State saying, I'm just excited to be here. It gives me a chance to showcase who's the best quarterback in the game. How about that?
Wow, well, they're talking.
Mr. Levitt.
Yeah.
It takes some courage to say that. I loved it yesterday. They interviewed Quinn Ewers.
Similar numbers with half the interceptions to Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, and what a great schedule they played. And and Levitt made the comment, "Hey, it's all in fun, you know." And he said, I've watched Quinn play. What a great player.
Yes,
And then Ewers said, "Yeah, I heard what he said." He goes, "That's great. It just helps me focus on what I've got to do for my team to give us." It was sounded like Ash, like the old baseball deal of, we're just going to take it one at bat at a time. Just glad to be here. But I think Quinn's probably excited to get out and get after this.
I think he is. He wants to show well for the upcoming draft. We're taking Longhorns here.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you knew
Texas
we weren't going to take
wins
him,
the
but
game
I
this
think
year.
they're going to win by 2 touchdowns or more.
I think they will. I think they'll
Yeah,
destroy
I don't-
Arizona
yeah, I
State.
And they're going to hold that boy back on that running back.
I think he'll still go off. I just don't think they have enough to beat Texas.
Correct. I think he won't.
Has history and actual observation taken away the idea that Quinn Ewers is like a coiled spring, that one day he has that potential to just go crazy, like he passed for.
He needs to do 3 more games.
Where he could pass for 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. And
Carson Beck had that coiled spring till he broke his elbow.
Absolutely.
He has to do it for 3 more games.
Yes, sir.
And we're taking Texas. I got one other tidbit you'll like to hear.
Share it.
Name and likeness. The 3 top universities pay the most out are in the playoffs. Number 1, who do you think number 1 is?
Texas.
Pays out?
Probably
Texas,
Texas.
$24 million.
Right.
Number 2,
Georgia.
Georgia, 20. Right. Well, look at these on a row. $23 million. Number 3,
Oregon.
come back. They're playing them.
Ohio State.
Ohio State, $20 million.
Wow.
Texas, Georgia, and Ohio State, top 3 in name and likeness. That's pretty good.
That's-
The rich get richer sometimes.
But you know,
right?
I've talked about this, and Ash and I have talked about this off the air a bunch because it's his world. It's what he deals with. But you gotta wonder how Boise State expects to compete with Phil Knight's Nike money, the Ohio State alumni base, the University of Texas. In the long run, you simply can't.
The culture.
The culture.
They're running counterculture to the NIL stuff, and it's somewhat refreshing. When Boise State won their conference championship and they asked every kid that they interviewed on Fox Sports, or Fox, whichever network it was, their answers were one of 2 right off the bat. They all thanked God,
Here you go.
and they all believed that they were a family. And a few of them talked about having the opportunity to jump in the portal. They didn't want to do it.
Good for them.
They've got, I mean, they're old school. They've got an old school collegiate athletic
I like
mentality
that.
where I made my commitment here. I'm staying here.
They have their values.
Good for them. And
Good
you
stuff.
got yours, sir. What do you have anything like?
I'm going to the Drifters. I'm working the Drifters. I'm doing the stuff at noon with the Children's Government Museum, doing the Drifters dance tonight. Also, fireworks out in the park. They're setting them off Riverside Park at 9 o'clock tonight. The city's doing that.
Well,
so.
it's the top of the hour and time for us to get out, but we wish you, as always, the happiest of Happy New Year's.
Happiest to y'all. New Year. God bless y'all.
We
all
love
of
you,
y'all.
sir.
Yep.
Love all
and,
y'all.
and
Happy
all
New
of you
Year.
that tune in and listen and watch. We appreciate you all, and Happy New Year to you all as well.
See you on
Thank you.
Thursday.
Bye, folks.
Happy New Year.
I've been locked up for driving 100.